Poltergals presents Terrifying Tales.
Hi, I'm Debbie.
And I'm Alison.
And we're the Poltergals.
Spooky. Port Arthur, Texas. Anyone that doubts that the spirit world can accomplish great things will find proof to the contrary. And the city of course, Port Arthur. This community owes its very existence to a legend of disembodied voices that counsel its namesake, railroad tycoon Arthur Stillwell. Stillwell was a 15-year-old farm boy in Indiana when he first realized his strange gift. One evening, he sat alone in his room, doing schoolwork by the flickering light of a coal oil lamp. He was having trouble concentrating on his lessons, as the image of a lovely young neighbor girl intruded persistently on his thoughts. The teenage Stillwell had become hopelessly lost when he was startled away from his romantic fantasies by a strange, echoing voice. It told the young man not to waste time worrying about that particular girl, and added, "You will not marry for 4 years hence, and your bride would be Miss Wood." The voice proved to be correct. 4 years later, Arthur still married Miss Wood, and told her about the voices which since that night had spoken to him on a regular basis. Although Stillwell had fast learned not to share this information with too many people. Certain classmates and teachers had been quick to brand him a lunatic. He had paid close attention to what the voices said, and allowed them to guide his life. He assured his young wife that the spirits who advised him had his best interest at heart. Stillwell's bride must have believed him because right after their wedding, the newlyweds packed their few things and moved to Kansas City, at the suggestion of the invisible guides. Stillwell took her job as a clerk in a Kansas City brokerage house. He found the work agreeable and learned a great deal about finance as he watched fortunes rise and fall in the markets. One day, while tidying his desk at the end of a busy afternoon, Arthur heard from his spirit advisors again. The voices told him to start on his own railroad. It seemed an absurd request to make of a clerk who earned no more than $40 in a week. But Stillwell had long before learned to trust his voices. Besides, they assured him that the necessary funds would be easily obtained. And once again, their prediction was correct. Within a year, Stillwell had earned enough on the investors' market to launch the Kansas City Beltline Railroad. He was in business, and his invisible guides remained with him. Between their savvy suggestions and Stillwell's hard work, the line quickly became one of the most profitable in the country. Once, both the Kansas City Beltline and Arthur Stillwell's fortune had been well established, the invisible voices instructed that it was time to begin another railway project. This time, the spirits intoned the tracks should stretch from Kansas City to the Gulf of Mexico. Stillwell listened to his guides, as always, and planned another railroad. The terminus was to be in Galveston, Texas. That plan remained in place until the project was nearly complete. Then the voices revisited Stillwell and expressed a sudden change of heart. "Change direction," they warned. "If the railroad goes to Galveston, it will be doomed. Instead, go toward the swamps." Arthur Stillwell endured the wrath of his investors and listened, as always, to his spirits. It was a seemingly insane change of plan, but Stillwell purchased a huge tract of inexpensive swampland in the north shore of Sabine Lake and made it the southern terminus of his new railroad. There were many at the time who dismissed Stillwell as an irrational fool who was about to be parted from his millions. Those same naysayers quickly changed their minds. However, when the devastating hurricane of 1900 virtually leveled Galveston, Stillwell's swampland terminus, by then a thriving seaport, remained unscathed. Better than unscathed. In fact, for the Kansas City Southern Line earned a tidy sum by arranging the transport of relief supplies to the storm-battered citizens of Galveston. For all of his days, Arthur heeded the advice of the spirit voices. In return, they always served him well. With the help of his paranormal guides, Stillwell built 7 railroads, wrote 30 books, amassed a fortune of $160 million, and founded more than 40 towns. Of those, 2 bear his name. They are Stillwell, Oklahoma, and the profitable piece of swampland where he chose to end the Kansas City Southern Railroad, Port Arthur, Texas. Be sure to follow us on Facebook or on YouTube at The Poltergals, or on Instagram at _Poltergals. You can also find us wherever you get your podcast or at roguemedianetwork.com. Hey everyone, we just wanted to make a quick little small segment letting y'all know that Terrifying Tales, that is released every Tuesday, will be released on both
Audio.
all platforms
Yes.
that you find your podcast, as well as YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But for the next few weeks, we will be releasing our regular Friday episodes on YouTube only. So you can find that on Rogue Media Network or on our YouTube page at The Poltergals.
The Poltergals.
Yes.
On YouTube. Like, follow, subscribe.
Yes, we'd love to see you every Friday. This is going to be kind of like a test trial to see how this works.
Yes.
But we'd love to see you, and be sure to tune in every Tuesday wherever you get your podcast, or on YouTube, and every Friday on YouTube.
That's right. If you want to see our beautiful faces, because we want to see you there.
Yeah. See you then, every Tuesday, and for sure every Friday.
Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to The Poltergals.
A Rogue Media Network podcast.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.